There is a place on Earth, deeper than Mount Everest is tall. A place where the pressure could crush a submarine instantly, where no sunlight has ever reached, where humans have visited the moon more times than this one place on our own planet. This is the Mariana Trench, and what's hiding inside it is far stranger than you think. The Mariana Trench is the deepest place in every ocean on Earth. Located in the Western Pacific, it stretches for over 10 by miles, but its deepest point has a name of its own, Challenger Deep, nearly 10 meters below the surface. That's almost 1,000 feet. To understand that number, if you took Mount Everest and dropped it into this trench, its peak would still be more than our kilometers underwater. The deepest mountain on Earth would simply disappear. Now let's talk about the pressure at the surface. You experience about 80 pounds per square inch. At Challenger Deep, that number jumps to over 10. That's more than 1,000 times greater. Scientists compare it to balancing an elephant on your thumb. A human body cannot survive there, not for 1 second. Without protection, you would be crushed before you even realized what happened. Most submarines would collapse instantly. This is why, for most of human history, this place remained completely unreachable. The water down there hovers just above freezing. No sunlight has ever touched this place. Total, permanent darkness. And yet, life exists down there. In Arlene Arwul, scientists published groundbreaking research. In the journal Cell, they discovered more than 10 new microbial species living in the trench. 80% of them were completely new to science, creatures no human had ever seen or even imagined. And it's not just microbes. Researchers found amphipods, small crustaceans, thriving at depths where the pressure is equivalent to balancing an SUV on a single fingertip. One species of amphipod, called Alicella gigantea, can reach up to 13 inches in length. That's enormous for a creature. In this environment, scientists believe they survive by scavenging on debris floating down from the upper ocean. In Arlene Arsis, a Chinese submersible called Finduje descended into the trench. Arshasen times, what they found was the deepest colony of life ever observed. Thousands of worms and mollusks living between Batin Lambai and Senwan 10 feet deep. An entire ecosystem thriving in a place we once believed was completely lifeless. But here's the discovery that changes everything. We thought we knew. Scientists expected deep-sea fish to have higher levels of a protein-stabilizing compound called TMAO. The deeper they live, it was a long-standing scientific assumption. But the RT Arwu study found something nobody expected. Below 10 meters, that pattern disappeared. The fish living at the most extreme depths on the planet are surviving through mechanisms science still doesn't fully understand. The discovery of this place happened almost by accident. In Iba Tiwul, a British research ship called HMS Challenger was conducting a routine depth measurement in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. They lowered a weighted rope into the water, expecting it to hit the bottom quickly. It kept falling and falling. After nearly 116 feet, about 5 miles down, it finally hit the bottom. The scientists were astonished. They had no idea this place existed. They didn't even realize they had found a trench at all. It would take decades for the full shape of this underwater canyon to be mapped. Today, the deepest point bears the name of that pioneering ship, Challenger Deep. In Ijuwuyi, another HMS Challenger. Yes, they named the new ship after the old one, used an echo sounder to record a depth of 15,600 feet. This confirmed and detailed what the original ship had discovered 76 years earlier, but nobody knew how to reach it. For decades, it remained untouchable. In Ijuwuyi, a submersible called Trieste made history. 2 men climbed inside, Jacques Picard and Don Walsh. They descended into the darkness, down and down and down for hours until they reached the absolute bottom of the world's ocean, 10,000 feet below the surface. They were the only humans ever to stand at the deepest point on Earth. Nobody else has done it. Since that day, let me repeat that. In Ijuwuyi, 2 men went to the bottom of the Mariana Trench in Arling-Arlil. Lucy Lilt years later. Only a handful of people have ever returned. We have sent more people to the moon than to the deepest place on our own planet. A trench deeper than Everest is tall. A place humans have explored. Less than the surface of the moon. A world without light, without warmth, yet filled with life. That defies everything we thought we knew about survival. And now, filled with our waste, a frontier that reminds us that no matter how advanced we become, there are still places on Earth that remain almost completely unknown. The Mariana Trench is proof that the world is far stranger, far older, and far more fragile than most people realize. That's what Beyond Far is about. The facts behind the places, the events, and the phenomena that most people pass by without a second thought. If this video made you see the world a little differently, subscribe, because we're just getting started.